Hey everybody, Troy Castellano here, coming at you from my Blue Heaven studio. Hey, today I'm going to do something that's not quite new. It's not a mystery to many of us, but it's a mystery to many of those learning to play guitar now. So what I wanted to do is show you how to restring a acoustic guitar. Mine is a Taylor. This is a Taylor 114 CE 2008. I bought this at a Guitar Center in Minnesota for like $700. What an amazing guitar. It's a bottom of the line Taylor made in Mexico. I remember that day playing like 3 levels of the guitar. This one, a 115 or whatever, however they go up, I'm not sure. But I played 3 different models and ended up back at this one just because it sounded so great. So, but really love this Taylor 114 CE. So I'm going to show you how I go about restringing a guitar. Oh, something funny too is like when I play shows, I have a CD taped on the back so I can sell CDs. I don't recommend doing that to your guitar, but this is a piece of love right here, so it's okay. Anyway, okay, so well, the first thing you're going to need is a new set of strings. I use these Elixer Nanowebs. These are the 12 through 53. These things just seem to last forever, especially if you wipe your guitar down a little bit now and then. They're coated, so the dirt doesn't seem to get into all the little grooves on a guitar string. So, but I really love these Elixer Nanowebs, and that's not an endorsement. I just use them. So, but what you're gonna need is a set of strings. One of these handy winders. They're probably like $2, maybe $1 each. Just makes things go faster. And I got a little cutter here, little wire cutter tool. But that's about it. So here's what I ended up doing. You know, these strings are getting, they still sound good. They're Elixers, but they've probably been on here a couple months, and you know, the best life is gone in them. So, but what I usually do is I'll get this thing standing on end, and you know, just like this, sitting in a chair, and I'll just loosen them all. And just a disclaimer, this is just the way that I do it. I never have any issues with tuning or anything. So I'll just loosen them all. Turn it to the front, that way you could keep cranking the same way. It's just flipped on the other side of the keys here, you know, from left to right on the guitar. Sometimes I'll pull on the string to help it stay taut and not get all flailing all over the place. And then once I've done that, clearing a little space. I usually do this in my garage. I have a little guitar bench, but just for today, I'm going to do it right here. These little winders have a little groove right there to get under your pins, your bridge pins. So I'll pop that off, and I like to take the guitar out, stick the pin in lightly just so I don't lose it and it doesn't, you know, I don't switch positions. I like the pins to go exactly where they've been all their life, because there probably is a little bit of difference, you know, variant with the string thickness. So anyway, pull that out, put that one back in. I just go through the process through all the strings. Then I'll generally just keep the balls all together on that end. No funny stuff, okay? Well, keep the balls all together there, and then I'll just wind them up so they'll stay in the trash can nicely. You could probably save them and use them again, or throw a spare in your case if you want, if you can't afford a new set, because these things can be like upwards to $15 a pack, depending on where you buy them. So all right, again, these are Elixir's Nano 12 through 53 gauge. They call that, or these are bronze as well, and they call this a light gauge. So, and I like to go through the heavy string first. I'll put the low E in. I pull that pin out, stick the ball down in there, and align that little groove. There's a teeny little groove with your bridge pin. Align that with where the string would run, kind of in that slot there. And then I push the pin down and I pull up on the string and make sure it's snug against the pin. And then I like to string the string all the way through the post. And it depends, because the thicker strings don't need as many windings. The skinnier strings, you can go with a few more windings. But I like to get, like, generally this kind of tension. I don't know if you could see it with my hand, because I pull the string tight as I'm winding it. So that's about maybe just enough to get my hand under the string. You know, I don't know if you could see it from that angle, but I pull it snug. And oh, here's a quick tip too. So I like to take a pencil, and I do this to all my guitars. Graphite is a natural lubricant, so it'll usually be sharper than that. But I take and I run the pencil over the groove, the slot, and yeah, of course you're marking some color on your nut, but I don't really. Doesn't bother me. This graphite is a natural lubricant, so I kind of like just right in the groove of the string slot, and that helps the string slide through the guitar nut easy without hanging up as much. And yeah, like I said, the graphite's just a natural lubricant. So I don't know, you can probably see that I wrote all over it, but again, I don't mind. Okay, back to where I was. I get my hand under the string like this and pull some tension on it, and I'll put it in the groove. I like to go like one wrap over the top of the, hopefully I'm getting this in the shot. I like to get the one wrap over the top of where the string comes through. This is just to keep it from slipping. And then the next one I make sure goes underneath that wrap. And once I'm past that point, I'll just pull it up out of the way. I bent it up. So, oh, I'm gonna lose my guitar. All right, so back to winding that tight. I'll wind that tight, you know, just to kind of close to pitch. I don't know if that is pitch, but it makes no difference. Then to the next string. Same process. Make sure the groove and the string are sliding through the same slot. Hold it down, pull it taut, run it through the post. And again, about the same deal where I get about a hand's length under it. And then I start to wind it over, and then I'll wind it underneath, and basically it's the same process. And I'm kind of holding it down, pushing down towards the nut, just to keep the string winding nice on the post. All right, we're on to the D string already. Oh, and something that I didn't do, and this is just me again, I don't really care at times how shiny my guitars are and clean, so I love all the character that comes with it, you know, like this is worn where the sound hole binding there, the rosette kind of stuff is almost poking through. You can kind of see that a little bit. And it's got a good wear where my hand rests when I strum. So again, just saying that I don't really care. If there's a lot of dust in there and it's just looking really bad, I'll wipe it out and I'll wipe off the headstock and stuff. But working musicians generally just use their tools. They're not always cleaning them, because you know what? You're going to pick it up and use it again. All right. And it's probably nicer, like I said, on my bench I have a little neck rest too, but for the purpose of this video, we're just going through the process of restringing the guitar, not how you set it on there. So we're into the G string now, making sure that slot's lined up good. Give it a good little tug. Now, just because of we're on the other side of the headstock and the strings wind differently, I put it down, you know, just on the floor like this, and you know, get her going. And the same thing. So now this time I kind of just give it, you know, I don't know if you see it, but I pull it through. These can be a little less, but more like a thumbs stretch there. See how I'm kind of bending that? I don't know if that's helpful, but it is for me. And again, I'll wind it once so the protruding string goes over, and then the next wind, we're going underneath it. And then I just keep it pressed towards the headstock in the groove and wind it up tight. All right, so going on to the B string. B string. I was on the B string of the football team. All right, so here we go again. I'm gonna stick that through. It's not the most fun thing to do. I'd rather be playing it. Kind of boring, I'd say. But if you're gonna be playing a lot, you definitely, new strings make a big difference, that's for sure. All right, so last one here. I'm trying to do this as fast as I can. All right, high E, giving it that little thumb length stretch. What that thumb length stretch that I'm talking about right here is just me knowing about how many winds I'm gonna get out of it that I want on the post. Which is generally, like, I like to go with 2 to 3 full wraps around the post. All right, so now that we've hit that stage, the next thing that I like to do is I like to take my strings and, you know, not too hard, but enough where you know you're making a good torque to it. This helps set the string into the post because it's pulling on it, and it also pulls the wrap around the post tight. So I'll do this a few times up and down the string. I'm really just kind of doing that. New strings sometimes take a while to get set and not stretch anymore. So this is one of the processes. And like I said, you don't want to do it too hard because you could break the string, and you also might, you know, break open your nut string slot. So all right, and once that's done, I like to fold the string in towards the inside of the neck, depending on what side you're on. And this is just to keep you or people from getting poked by the strings, because I like them poking in. And then if you ever had a restrung a string or one of them stubs, I don't know if you can see this on the camera, but you know how thin these wires are? These are like needles, and every one of us guitar players have got stung every now and then. So that's just another little tip. I turn the cutoff point to the inside of the headstock just to keep it from poking somebody, especially these high non-wrapped strings, your B and E. They really can get sharp. And oh yeah, it's beautiful. But now I'm gonna whip on the tuner, and go for the E string first. overstretched it there a little bit, but that's fine because then it pulls a little bit more of that tension out. If you don't have one of these clip-on tuners, which are cheap, I mean they're about 10 bucks these days, but makes it really easy. And you can see that this is like a, oh, it's actually a reverb. I'm wearing reverb shirt. I got a few of these tuners that day. I got the shirt at a Nashville NOM show. So, or you can tune it traditionally, 5th string pressed, and make it sound like the 2nd string under. Alright, still a little stretched out, so what I'll do too now is go. I sit and bend, like naturally, like how they would get stretched. And exaggerated, of course. Ooh. Alright. You might do that a few times, but there's nothing like getting strings in shape, like stretching them, like playing them. And sometimes, yeah, it takes a little bit to get them to finally be done moving. But all that can be done within 15 minutes, you know. See, they stretched quite a bit still. Alright, there we go. Nothing like the sound of new strings on a guitar. Alright, so that's how you restring an acoustic guitar according to Troy Castellano. You don't have to do it that way, but that's how I do it, and hopefully it was helpful to you. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. I'm trying to get up to 1,000, and you know, then the next goal is 10,000, all that crazy stuff. But really appreciate you watching. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you know when I put out another video, and hope to see you on the other end of the next one. Alright, peace.